Everybody, this is Dream. In this video, I'm going to go through about 100 games that you're going to be able to get 100,000 Gamerscore with that are the best games that have come out in 2022 for achievements. Some of the vast majority of these games are going to be under 2 hours. There's going to be a couple that are going to be a couple, like 3 to 4 hours, and then there's going to be a couple that are a little bit longer. Mostly just because they're such good games that have really good achievement lists and are relatively easy to complete. So without further ado, I'll start to get into the games themselves. For starters, we're going to look at Airy Vikings. This actually just came out, though there is an achievement glitched on it, so just be aware of that. This is a very quick game, 1 to 2 hours. It's a very simple flying game where you just have to pick up the power-ups, or not power-ups, but little like orbs as you go flying around. The second game we're going to look at is Dungeon Slime Collection. This particular game is a Radioactive game, and you basically have to kind of do puzzling in order to beat this game. We actually have an achievement guide, I believe, for this game on the channel. This particular game is $4.99 regularly. It's on sale currently at the moment, so it may or may not be when you watch this video. But this game takes about 20 minutes to complete. Then we have Running on Magic. This game is a very simple, basically platformer. This is going to take you 1 to 2 hours to complete, and it's only $4.99. Long Live the Queen is a, what do you call it, uh, sorry, a visual novel, my brain. It is $7.99, so you might want to wait for this one to go on sale, more so than it currently is. Seems a little bit pricey for what it is. But it is a pretty simple game, though you're going to need to utilize a guide for that particular game because it takes a lot of intricacies. But it's a very quick, once you use the guide, it's a 1 to 2 hour game. Then we have Formula Bit Racing DX, which is obviously a racing game. This game's going to take you about 20 minutes to complete. There's nothing hard about it at all. Then we have Rayland. Rayland is a very simple puzzle game. It's going to take you 0 to 1 hours. I believe we actually have an achievement guide for this one as well. Then we have Road to Death. This particular game is going to take you 1 to 2 hours. It's actually a pretty decent little action game. You've probably played games like that one before, I'll say that much. Then we have Krypto, the Serpent King, which is a very terrible game. But it is a quick achievement game. You're going to be able to complete this one in just a couple hours. I think it's a 1 to 2 hour completion, and it's only $2.99. Just make sure to get the remastered 4K edition and not the original version, which takes a lot longer time. Then we have Quintus and the Absent Truth. This particular game takes 1 to 2 hours. It's got a cute little story. You basically play as a human and a little mouse, and that's all I really want to say of the game. It is $9.99, pretty fair price for what it is. Like I said, it's got a cute little story. Then we have Renzo Racer. Renzo Racer is a extremely bad game. I don't recommend buying this in any capacity, though the achievements only take 1 to 2 hours. So if you do want the achievements, wait for this thing to go on sale for a lot of money. For being $25 is ridiculous. But like I said, if you can pick it up on discount or maybe get a version of it that's cheaper somewhere, then that's going to be your best bet. But otherwise, just avoid this game, like the plague. But like I said, 1 to 2 hour completion, very easy to complete. Monster Trampoline is kind of a little party game that you can play with multiple controllers on your own Xbox. This particular game is actually quite silly and fun, and I definitely recommend it just for the funness, especially if you have people you can play it with. It is $8.29, and it is a fairly simple completion. It is about 1 to 2 hours, and you'll have fun doing it. Octofight is a very simple little game that takes 1 to 2 hours. You might want to utilize a guide to understand how this game works exactly. The graphics are completely terrible. It is a little party game, but it is really terrible from that perspective. Almost My Floor is actually a pretty decent game. You're actually going to see that we have this on the list twice because there's 2 versions, an Xbox S and an Xbox One version. So you get actually 2,000 Gamerscore throughout these 2 games. But the Almost My Floor game is a little like a walking adventure type of game where you have to like walk around and look for things and then do some point and click stuff. So they're pretty decent little games. I would wait for them to go on sale though, just at the price point of $9.99. Probably a little bit less would be better, especially if you're just picking up them both for the achievements. Parasite Pack is a very simple game that you can utilize some tricks in the game in order to complete it really easily. It is $7.99. It's not too bad price for it, and it's a fun little game, so you might find it interesting. It is a kind of puzzle game if you play it the way it's intended. Then we have 60 Words by Paugy. This particular game is probably one of the easiest Paugy games that exist. It's just like word search, and it's going to take you 1 to 2 hours to complete, but like most Paugy games, they're fun and interesting and pretty quick to get all the achievements for. Then we have Y Pizza, and actually Y Pizza also has 2 versions, one for the Xbox Series S and X, and one Xbox One version, and so you can get 2000 Gamerscore here. This particular game, while they're not the best, they're a little janky, but they are pretty easy to complete, and you're going to be able to get these completed in less than an hour each, and so just keep that in mind if you decide to pick those up. Then we have Hillbilly Doomsday, which you can pick up for $5 each, as again, there's 2 versions. However, you can actually get at least half of the achievements just playing the trial versions of this. So if you don't want to spend the money, you can get at least half of the achievements by just playing the game. And they're just little action-adventure games that are pretty chill and easy to play. Then we have the Psycho Ducks, excuse me. This particular game, you just play as this little duck, and you have to avoid these enemies and progress through the game. It's a very simple, easy completion. It'll take you about 15 to 20 minutes, so you might want to pick it up on sale since it's only that amount of time. Then we have A Winter's Daydream, which is also a book, that you just have to skip through in order to get all the achievements. It doesn't take any effort at all. You just have to hit A a whole freaking bunch of times. I would definitely recommend waiting for it to go on sale, but it's a very quick 1,000. And then we have Drunken Fist 2 Zombie Hangover, which is a pretty terrible game. I don't know why they made it, but it is a 1 to 2 hour completion. So if you do want some achievements that are easy, then this is one to go. Graphically, it's not very good, and it's also kind of a mess of a game. But again, you can get all the achievements without too much effort. Do look on TA and look at Achievement Guide first, just to make sure you know exactly what you need to do. Tales of is another game that's a visual novel. This particular game, you do have to do a couple things in order to get all the achievements, but it is a very simple completion. You just need to use a little bit of guide here. It's going to take you less than an hour to complete. I included Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this because even though it is about a 20-hour completion, it is a freaking awesome Ninja Turtles game. So if you like Ninja Turtles at all, you're going to love this game. So definitely check it out on Game Pass. It's definitely free on Game Pass, so that's a huge advantage. And try to get all those achievements. Some of them are kind of difficult, but they're all doable. A bunch of us did them all in the first week the game came out, but if you do need any help, feel free to jump into our Discord, and you can probably find some people that are working on it. Thunder Kid Null 2 Mission is a very simple kind of action-adventure platform game that you just have to beat about a few levels in the game to get all the achievements, and it's going to take you, less than an hour to complete. Square Keeper is a quick little game. I believe this game takes less than a half an hour, maybe an hour. It's a very simple game. It's kind of a puzzly game, so you just have to utilize a guide. Will really speed that one up for you. The Wizard and the Slug is a very simple game, again, as many of these are. It's just a little platformer type game that you're going to have to jump around and complete. I don't think you have to complete the entire game. I just think you have to complete a few of the levels and some other things. And it's going to take you like 20 minutes to complete, so it's a very simple game. Then we have Space Wing War. It's been a long time since I actually played this one, so I actually had to look up what it was about. It's a little, like, shooter game, left to right, side-scrolling game. It's a very simple game, though. It's going to take you 0 to 1 hours to complete. It's not too difficult. You might want to wait for that one to go on sale. To the Moon and Beyond is a space game. It is developed actually by NASA, which is kind of cool. It is a little confusing, so I do actually have a achievement guide for this game out to help you with this, and it's also free to play. So it's a very easy game. It won't take you very long if you do pick it up and play. But like I said, definitely use our achievement guide. It'll help you quite a bit. It's a 1 to 2 hour completion. Disc Room is a 4 to 5 hour completion. I included this one because there's a lot of easy ways to trick the game so you can get most achievements quicker. If you had to do this game without the cheat codes that are built into the game, it would take you significantly longer, and you can probably actually, get that time down quite a bit if you utilize achievement guides and stuff like that at the beginning. 10 is a very easy game that has a cheat code in the game that you can use to make it so you can complete the game without any issue at all. Very simple game, and it's a fun little game. It's kind of built based on a game where you have to like run real quick and then like avoid enemies and stuff like that. But it's a fun little game. Word Wheel by Palgi is another Palgi game, and it's like all the others Palgi games. They're 1 to 2 hour completions. And so, if you like these games, then you'll probably want to purchase them, or if you just want them for the achievements, then just pick up at them whenever they go on sale. Blow and Fly, excuse me, is a 0 to 1 completion. There's nothing difficult about this game at all. It is going to be a cakewalk of a game for you. You just have to do a little platforming, and that's pretty much it. Zombo Buster Advance is going to take you 1 to 2 hours. There is actually some cheat codes, not cheat codes, but there's some tricks in order to beat this game, so just look up a guide for this in order to make it super quick and easy. Will Die Alone is a 2 to 3 hour game, and it has an interesting little story. You might like it, you may not. I was probably in the side of people that didn't really like it that much, but for $4.99 you can get all the achievements in 2 to 3 hours at the most, especially with a little guide. Divination is a 5-minute completion. It's very simple with an achievement guide to get this game done in just a few minutes. So I would definitely wait for this to go on sale. Radon Break is what you think. It is a brick breaker type of game, only goes left to right. Very interesting game, a very solid game. This game is going to take you 2 to 3 hours to complete, but there's some tricks in order to make it pretty simple. Hellgunner is a 0 to 1 hour completion, and it is a little adventure style game. You just have to kill enemies, and it's very similar to another game that I just recently told you about. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but it's very similar to other games you played in the past, so you won't find anything there that's too unusual. Then we get to Area New Frontier, another area game, another simple 1,000. It's a 1 to 2 hour games. All the achievements have been fixed in this one. They came out originally with bad achievements, but they've all been fixed to this point. Then we have Chef, which is a quick little 1 to 2 hour game. I didn't like this game very much, but it is kind of interesting, I guess. It's a little platformer, and it's easy enough to complete. It's just a little bit of an annoying game. Slap the Rocks is a little easy game that we can pick up and play. You just have to utilize your character to maneuver these rocks around in order to avoid enemies and pick up the chests. It's a very simple game. It won't take you very long at all. I think this game took me about half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. So. Then we have Dandy and Randy. Dandy and Randy will only take you 1 to 2 hours to complete, and is kind of a little puzzle / action adventure game. And it's a very simple game. It's actually pretty fun. Cyberpool is a little pool game that you can pick up, and you can get all the achievements in this game in under an hour. I believe you do need to use a guide in order to complete it, but it's very simple. Let me click that away. Layer Section is an expensive game, so we definitely want to wait for this game to go on sale or find somebody that is doing a giveaway to get this. It is a twin stick shooter. It is a very fast 0 to 1 hour completion. So just keep that in mind if you do pick it up. Castleformers is a 0 to 1 completion. This particular game is like a castle defense game, and if you use a guide, it'll be even faster. Makoko X is a 4 to 5 hour completion. I did include it here because it is a kind of a visual novel. Oh, sorry, not visual novel. This is a game where you have to start at the bottom, and you have to carve out parts of the game in order to destroy enemies and things like that. And it is a fun little game. It's very chill and easy to play and kind of fun, and the achievements are good in it. And so I included it simply because of that, and the price point's pretty good for what it is. Happy Besudui is a terrible game. When I played this game, I was so angry about how stupid it is. It's kind of a backwards Donkey Kong game. Basically, the whole point of the game is to avoid picking up anything and just destroy the enemies that you can. It's a heck of a game, and it's super annoying to play. But as you can see, I read a comment that says, terrible controls, don't waste your money, the solution is don't play, which it literally is the solution not to play the game. But at any rate, it's a very quick 1,000. Take you half an hour to complete. Limb Hunter is literally a less than a half an hour game to complete as well. It has a little action adventure game. It's very simple, and there's some really good guides on YouTube for this particular game that's going to make it super easy. A Sketchbook About Her Son is a 0 to 1 hour game, and it is another kind of music game where you... I'm trying to explain... I don't know how to explain this one very well, but it's just a little music game. But it's very simple, very easy to use a guide to get all the achievements in it. Z-Warp is another game that's going to take you less than an hour to complete. It is a kind of a twin-stick shooter, so you can top to bottom side-scrolling, well, top to bottom scrolling shooter. So it's very simple. You played lots of games like this before, and you should have no problem 1K'ing this game. Flat Kingdom is a 0 to 1 hour completion. I don't even remember playing this one hardly, but I did. It is a little platformer type game, and it's very simple to play. Like I said, it'll take you about a half an hour to complete. Bouncy Boy is a 2 to 3 hour completion. It is a twin stick game, and it's kind of like a puzzle game that you have to move this character around in order to complete these puzzles. So it's a very simple game. It's fun. I think we have an achievement guide for this too on the channel. It is $14. So you might want to wait for it to go on sale. Memoire Blue is I believe this is a visual novel kind of style game. You do have to maneuver a little bit, but it's not very much. It's a very simple game, and it's going to take you no time at all to complete. It is also on Game Pass, where it's $7.99 regularly. Here's another area game. You know the drill on these. These are very simple games. You can complete this game in 1 to 2 hours, and that'll knock out a quick 1,000 for you. Taco Van is I think a kind of a board game. Yeah, it is. So you basically have to figure out the puzzle in order to maneuver these areas around so that you can get to the goals. It's a very simple game. You can use a guide and it'll be over in I think 1 to 2 hours at the most. The Pizza Delivery Boy Who Saved the World. This game is going to take you about 3 minutes to complete, so you might want to wait for it to go on sale. It's just kind of a visual novel where you have to make the choices correctly, so you really want to use a guide. I think we have one up for that. Thunder Kid is another Thunder Kid game. This is the second of the 2 games, I believe. No, this is actually the first one. The second one I already gave you information about, and they're about the same. They both take under an hour, and they are pretty cheap, so they're pretty easy for Gamerscore. Then we have Who Pressed Mute on Uncle Marcus. This particular game takes 3 to 4 hours to complete. If you can use a guide, it's going to help you a lot. It's a very simple game. It's kind of annoying, to be honest, but it's a kind of interactive adventure style game. It's kind of strange, so if you're into those type of adventure games, then you'll probably like it, but the story is a little wonky. Then we have Royal Frontier. This particular game is going to take you 1 to 2 hours. It's a little action adventure game that's kind of easy to play and pick up. And if you use a guide, it's going to make it a lot easier. So $6.99 is not too bad. Of course, we have another Palgi game, and Word Breakers, just like the others. It's going to take you a couple hours to get all the achievements, but it's going to be fun and easy. Actually, I think this one is a little bit faster than the others when it comes to the achievements, but it is a very simple game. The Moose Band, if you use a good guide, this game will take you 1 to 2 hours, and it's a very good game. It's a little action adventure game that you just have to walk to the right and deal with different things. Then we have Radioactive Dwarfs. I don't actually remember playing this game. It's a chili dog game, so with most chili dog games, you can do things to make it so it goes super quick. And I believe this game, it only takes you 5 minutes to complete with the guide. Dungeon Crawler is a fun little puzzle game, I believe. Yep. And you have to just kind of get through these levels. It's a very simple game. It'll take you 1 to 2 hours to complete, and at the price point of $3.99, you won't be unsatisfied by that. Splash Cars is another little racing game that you can play. It's not exactly racing, I guess, but it is. You're using cars, so it's everybody associates that with racing. But it's a little bit different than your traditional racing game. It's going to take you 2 to 3 hours to complete this game, but it's actually quite a bit of fun, so I definitely recommend it. Ballotron is a 0 to 1 hour completion. It is a little kind of puzzle game, but you're definitely going to want to use a guide to make it super simple, make it easy. That's going to go the same with this brainstorm game. It's going to have a similar, puzzle type aspect of the game, but using a guide is going to make it super quick, and you're going to be able to complete this game in no time at all. We're looking at less than that, half an hour probably. Pyramid Quest. This particular game is, I don't think I meant to, oh yeah, it is. Sorry, it's about a 4 to 5 hour completion. It's a nice little platformer, and I included it because it's just a fun little platformer, and it's pretty easy and chill to play. So for $9.99, it's not a bad price at all, and you're going to get all the achievements in it relatively easily. Excuse me, Light Up the Room is a 1 to 2 hour completion. It's another little action-adventure kind of game, kind of puzzly, I guess, in a way. And you're going to die a lot, but that's okay, because there's achievements tied to doing that. Explosive Candy is a game that's going to take you less than an hour to complete. It's another little action-adventure game, and it's basically just a little platformer. So if you do pick that one up, then you'll be able to get all the achievements relatively quick. The same will be able to be said about Dr. Oil. It is a very quick 1,000, but it's also kind of a low platformy. And so just, remember that it's platformy. Mages and Treasures is a very simple little game. It's going to take you about, I think, 35 to 45 minutes to complete. You do have to do some little puzzles and stuff like that, but it's a very simple game. Fluffy Cubed is a puzzle game, and you basically just have to complete these puzzles and figure out how to get the little boxes on the correct square. This game is going to not take you very long. It's going to take you 1 to 2 hours to complete, and it's $3.99, so there you go. Blackberry Honey is going to take you literally 5 minutes. However, the price point's kind of crappy, so you might want to wait for it to go on sale. It's just a little visual novel type game. El Gancho is a less than an hour game, and it's another little action-adventure game, and kind of a little platformer. Drone Gladiator is going to take you 1 to 2 hours. It might take you a little bit more or less, depending on your skill level, but it's pretty easy to pick up and play and just run through it. Crux World Construction Kit 2 is kind of like a Mario Maker, but not Mario Maker kind of game, and it's not very good, but it is a quick achievement game. There's plenty of guides available. I think we actually made a guide for this as well. In fact, I'm pretty sure we did. Very easy game. The Song Out of Space is another game that's going to take you less than an hour. I believe this one's a visual novel as well, but I could be wrong. Am I right about that? Yeah, it's kind of a visual novel type deal going on here. So, The Dead Tree of Ranchona is a game, I believe, yeah, it's a walking simulator, essentially. It's going to take you a couple hours to complete, unfortunately, because it's kind of boring, but it is a very simple game to get all the achievements, and at $9.99, it's not too bad. It's, 1 to 2 hours. Nostalgic Train is another game that I don't really like much, and it's kind of annoying, and it's a little bit pricey for what it is, but it is a very quick and easy 1,000. If you use an achievement guide, you're looking at around an hour and a half. Dynabomb is a game that's going to take you literally 15 minutes to complete all the achievements for. It is a little platformer game. It's very simple and fun. True Fear is a action-adventure game that's point-and-click, basically, and in this particular game, it's going to take you a little bit more time than some of these others. It's a couple hours, I think 2 to 3, if I remember correctly, and it's a pretty chill, fun game to play. Super Onion Boy is going to take you about 30 minutes. This is another little platformy, kind of game, and it's very simple to play. Pick up and play and finish. This is actually a Xbox Series X version of Active Neurons, which is a really awesome little game. It's a 1 to 2 hour completion, so I definitely recommend it from that perspective. Gab Gab Odyssey is a game that's going to take you, I believe, about 20 minutes to complete. Another little action-adventure game, and as you can see, it's kind of just a little, kind of puzzly thing going on. Cake Invaders is a 30-minute completion, just like most of these East Asia Shop games you're getting. They're very simple, but kind of things you've seen before, so you're going to know how to play and stuff like that. This game has a very easy achievement list. Starlight Shores is another game that's going to take you less than 10 minutes to complete, so I definitely recommend waiting for this to go on sale. It's just a little visual novel. Summertime Madness is also a game that's going to take you 1 to 2 hours to complete, and this actually has 2 versions again. And this is just make sure you use a guide, you'll be able to complete this relatively easily. But you might want to wait for it to go on sale at the price point. Jack and Hat is a 0 to 1 hour completion. This game is a platformy type game, and it's pretty chill and easy to pick up and play, and you'll be able to complete it with no time. Mousecraft is a puzzle game that you're going to have to probably use a guide for if you want to do it quickly. But overall, I actually recommend playing this normally just because it's fun. But if you use a guide, it'll take you 2 to 3 hours. Gravity Chase is a game that's going to take you 1 to 2 hours. It used to take longer, but somebody found a trick in order to get all the achievements faster. It's just a little racing game, and you don't even have to be that good to get all the achievements in it. Kendu is a 1 to 2 hour completion. I believe this game is a little puzzly type of game where you have 2 characters you have to move around in order to help each other and things like that. So it's a pretty chill little game. Pretty easy achievement game as well. Paparazzi is a game where you just have to go around and you have to take pictures of dogs, and you have to beat all these levels by taking pictures of dogs in different ways and things like that. It isn't the easiest game to pick up and play, but it is kind of chill, and if you like puppies, then you'll like this game. It's a 3 to 4 hour completion, so just keep that in mind. Baden Batula is a very odd little game. It's definitely a throwback to some older games. I think this is a port of an old game from like the original PlayStation. And it's a 0 to 1 hour completion with a guide, and so just keep that in mind. The Enigma Machine is a very quick game. You can use an achievement guide for it, and it's going to make it so it's going to take you less than 45 minutes to complete. It is just a little not very good graphically game, but it's just chill and easy to play. Kanzi, the Second Turn HD is a Radioactive game. It's just a visual kind of novel that you do have to use an achievement guide in order to figure out how to get to each of the achievements. It's going to take you about 30 to 45 minutes because of that, because your choice is really important in this game. Here's another area game. This game is just like every other area game. It's a 1 to 2 hour completion. All the achievements, again, have been fixed in this one, so keep that in mind that they were broken at one point, and they did fix them, so this is a pretty easy achievement game again. Danger Energy actually has a Windows version as well, so you can keep that in mind. This game is going to take you about 20 minutes to complete. It's a very simple game, a little puzzly, but using an achievement guide will make it super fast. Who's Your Daddy? We actually have an achievement guide for this game. Fire made that guide. I actually haven't played this game yet, but it is a very quick achievement game, and you don't need to buy it. You can just use the free trial in order to complete it. And finally, last but not least, the Pedestrian is a 3 to 4 hour completion, and it's a very good little puzzle game. It's actually quite long, but I stress to not use an achievement guide because of how fun it is. But if you just don't like puzzle games, you just want the achievements as quick as possible, you can get a guide out there that's going to make it easy to complete. So with that said, that's all the 100 games that I had on this list, and this is going to be all the best games for your achievement hunting desires. Like, there's 100 games on this list, and you're going to be able to get a whole bunch of achievements really quickly in all these games, and for the most part, you're going to have fun playing them. It's a really solid list of games. There's a couple of games in there I'm not a big fan of, but, some people will be, and then there's a lot of good games in this list as well, so if you like this guide of all these different games that come out in 2022, please let me know in the comments what else kind of guides like this you would like to see. Maybe specific older years, or even, maybe different types of games, stuff like that. So just let me know in the comments what you think, and have a nice day, guys.